to Lizard Lounge experience.
Right, boys, welcome back to the Lizard Lounge podcast, coming at you live from the Drill Square. Right, so today we have got a very special guest of us today, and that is...
Oh yeah, it's me.
Yeah, it's
Tegscoaching, Tom Day.
Yeah, he thinks he's Ali because he's Marine, but in reality he's not. Anyway, just before we go, before we start, a couple of admin points. Right, so now we've now got a link tree, which for some reason I can't put on the actual Lizard Lounge TikTok. So what I've had to do is that I've had to put it on the Cheers Dits TikTok. So you just click my link tree there, and then at the top there it will be like all the links for the Lizard Lounge. We've also got something called Coffee as well, so it's KOFI. So what that is basically like donations that you want to give to us to sort of help us out with equipment, etc. Any sort of sponsors that want to sponsor us in the future, then let us know. And this will only... Steve is still sorting out his fucking shed, aren't you?
Yeah, so I'm going to turn the shed into a little podcast lounge, so it will be good to go before the end of this month.
Hopefully before
we'll
Christmas.
Invite people down as well. They can come and have a sleepover.
I won't have a sleepover.
Yeah.
Right, anyway.
Tex can come as well if you want.
Yeah, it can't be that far. I'll walk it.
Yeah, man.
Right, Steve, you got anything to add to that?
No, just again, like you said, the shed is coming on and it'll be done by the end of this month, so we'll be all together soon doing the podcast.
Yes, like I said, if you want to donate anything, any equipment or anything like that, then that'll fucking... You don't realise how much that'll fucking help out. Anyway, right, let's break into this now. No pun intended. Tegs, icebreaker, go.
Okay, yeah, my name's Tegs, or Tom. I'm probably the shortest bloke that you'll ever meet, even though I'm 5'8". But I say to everyone else I'm actually 6 foot until they see me in person. A little bit about me. I pretty much just talk about my life on social media, and people seem to be attracted with it because I've probably got some sort of deficiency in some area of my brain. But yeah, I've been probably doing TikTok properly since April, and it's fucking blown up. And I actually used to follow Cheers Dits. Like, me and the boys used to follow it back in the day, and then when he fucking followed me back, I had a proper little fangirl moment, and within 5 minutes of him following me, I DM'd him saying that I loved him, and now here I am, 3 months down the line.
Let me see if I've still got the DM. I've got it, right, so it goes, mate, massive thanks for the follow, been following your page for time, love the content, brother. I thought, thank you for the kind words, brother, your page looks class, knowledgeable as well. Goes, cheers, bro. Hopefully, I'll be doing this full time on Civvy Street. Just got a grizzle in less 10 months, boy. Right. So another thing, something I want to ask you, Tom, is why did you join the band service and then transfer to the RM?
But when I was younger, I basically I played music from a really young age. So I used to play the trumpet. When I first started at 11, obviously I got no women, shock. And I did that from 7 years, and then I've sort of played in an orchestra. I didn't really know what I wanted to do in my life. I knew I didn't want to go to uni. And the bloke who conducted my band, he basically stands out the front with the stick in that, and he's swinging it around.
Guardian Leviosa, one of them.
Proper Hogwarts style. He was like, what are you going to do with your life? And I went, I don't really know. And he's like, ever thought about joining the band service? He's obviously ex-band service. And it's sort of a taster day, when you go to a new school and it's to see if you like all the people in your class and that. So I did a couple of days there, and I was like, yeah, this is pretty sound. I think I'm just going to do that. So I think I joined literally just after my 18th birthday, maybe 3-4 days, and then you did a sort of watered down phase one, not like a marine phase one. It's mega watered down because in the band stuff you don't need to fucking yomp everywhere. So we did that, and then you go to Portsmouth to it's called the School of Music. It's at HMS Nelson. You do 2.5 years music training there, and then you get sent off to your fucking unit. So I got drafted to Scotland Band, which couldn't have been any further away from where I live. But I'd had enough of living in Exeter. I needed to get out of there. So I was up there for a bit, and then I sort of rocked up to my unit, and I was like, I don't really want to do this anymore. So within the first couple of weeks, I put in my request to transfer because like there was a few like Marines that are up in Scotland, and they were just saying that like it was class, and I went, I need to get a little bit of this action, and then I put in that request, and then fucking 4 years later, here I am now.
Ali,
With not long to go.
Yeah, we've not long to go. I think 8 years is just enough. I feel like it's one of those things I never really had an aspiration to do like a full 22 or a 12, and it was just one of the things where I wanted to leave sort of around this age anyway. Even if I hadn't transferred, I would have probably left at fucking around this age anyway, and done something else. And it would have originally just been PT, but then I've always sort of been interested in like social media and that, and I was like, hey, I'll give it a bash, and it's done pretty well. So I'm happy with that.
What are your plans for when you get out? Are you still going down that PTI route, or?
Yeah, so my plans when I get out, obviously just taking this full time, and I was like, I might as well start while I can to sort of build it up and then have a smooth transition into doing like online coaching, personal training, like when I leave. Because I don't really want to just leave, have no money, and then I'm panicking for a couple of months trying to build it up. So, but I think the main important thing is I don't just want to be like one of those other like military like fitness pages where all it talks about is the military. Because like maybe I still want like a foot in the door, but I don't want it to be my entire content. So I do try and change it up a little bit. It's not so there's just stuff of like just actual like weight workouts, me just smashing pre-workout, the lot. There's a little bit of everything, and I feel like that opens up scope for everyone to enjoy the content, not just fucking military.
Something that I've noticed, yeah. Do you know? Obviously, when we like first started speaking to each other, Tom, right, and then we started going on our first date after that. When I reposted one of your videos for the first time, I realised a lot more like military questions were coming in. As soon as I made your page aware, like as soon as I got people to your page in a way. I'm not saying like your whole followers is from me. I'm just saying that some of them. But like I've noticed a hell of a lot more people are asking about the Marines and stuff like that, and like you saying there, like, oh, I want to be more like civvy and stuff like that. How are you finding like all the military questions all the time?
No, it's good, mate. I feel like it's one of those things where obviously the information's out there, but like especially the last couple of years, social media's changed like so much. There's so much like information out there. Like if you look at like the army, the navy, the RAF, they're all plastering stuff on social media about like what they're doing, where they've been, where they're going. Like to obviously like make it look like alley as fuck, so people like think, oh, I want to do that and join up. So it is one of those things where like lads obviously just want to like know answers, because you don't want to. It's like it's a big commitment, like joining the military. So you don't want to be going into it like blind.
Yeah, they show you all the good stuff on the TV of them walking around with the rifles in their hand at night time with nods on, but they don't tell you about the tabbing that you have to fucking do to get to there, do they?
They don't tell you about someone saying you can't give shit.
I know.
Reapply.
No one tells you about the 8 mile tabs or the drill you've got to do. Weapons handling, like fucking walking around with a rifle on your shoulder. Why?
Yeah, it's good though, and it's like it's some of the messages I get. Like I never sort of expected. Well, especially I didn't expect to be where I am now in like such a short space of time. I think it was maybe April fucking. Like I just got back from Norway, so it would have been the start of April that I started posting about like the Marines and that, because I was like, I'll put my shit in first, just so then like I'm leaving, and then I'll start talking about it, and then but like some of the kind messages I get from people being like, you've made me now want to like join, or you've made it's sometimes it's not even about the military. It's like just seeing your stuff like makes me want to like go to the gym and like sort myself out. That sort of like feeling you can't replicate with anything else, and it's one of those things that I didn't expect to have it in, what's it now, August, April, May, June, like 5 months, and it like to sort of have like the community that I've built already. Like when I was in Australia, I was getting recognised by like people that followed me, and I was on the other side of the world, and I was like, this is ridiculous. So it's class. Like I wouldn't like, even though it's probably more work now. Like since I've been back in the UK for like 48 hours, and I've been just glued to like screens, catching up with everything, but. It makes it all worth it. It don't feel like work. It feels fucking class.
Yeah, I suppose what they always say is though, like, if you find a job that you enjoy. You never work a day in your life, do you?
Yeah, exactly. And also, my only personality is a gym. So if I can start making money from it, like I'm basically monetizing my personality, which is sick.
Which, right,
Yeah.
Steve, we're gonna guess, right, of why Tom started the gym. We get one guess each, right? You ready?
Why he started the gym?
Yeah, we're gonna guess. Me and you are gonna guess why he started.
Oh, I got a good answer.
Right, I reckon it's over a girl.
No, I reckon it's because he's fucking 5'8", and he wants to make himself look bigger.
I'll show you why I started the gym. Yeah, right. I'll send you this FOP, Luke, as well.
Right.
But
Just for everyone. Oh, right,
no.
fair one. Jesus. I mean, to be fair, mate, that's me now. That's
was me,
literally
like,
me now. Right,
And
so
I was just like, yeah.
right, so everyone that's listening on Spotify, fucking hell, it's microphone. That's listening on Spotify. He's basically just showed a picture of him when he was like 10 or 11 years old. There,
I was 15.
you were 15.
But 15.
Fucking hell, mate.
Wow.
And
Yeah,
everyone,
I didn't-
and everyone's
I didn't-
watching this as well has obviously seen that, but in the background of me, you can see the general in the background, just, you know.
Keeping the fucking head down like she should be.
You're gonna wave. There you go. There's a wave. So yeah, the general's in the background of me because I basically told her off. Said like, "Well, this is my time. You know, get a grip on
Noise
your
down.
rapping. Fucking noise down." So was that the reason you started the gym then?
Yeah, mate, I was a late bloomer, mate. Like I used to like go around school, yeah, and like when I was like 14, 15, all the other lads are like hit puberty. They were getting fucking beards, those shit tashes that look like they're drawn on with like permanent marker. Basically, whenever I grow a tash,
Yeah,
and I used to like
still
pretend my voice had dropped. So I'd go around and I'd be like, "Yeah, lads, so I hit puberty last night. Pretty big deal. My voice changed like this overnight." And they were just like, "Yeah, cheers, mate."
Yeah, cheers.
And then, like,
Dits.
Yeah, and I was just fed up of fucking just looking like a bag of shit.
Yeah.
And then, like, obviously I've probably taken it a bit too far now because I've only got one leg left that isn't covered in tats, and like, unless I'm sub 10% body fat, I can't
And
like.
you still can't get a bird, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And I've been single for like over like a year and a half.
There we go. So if there's any females watching or listening, guy in there.
I've had enough of women. I've had to draw a line under it. I just don't have it.
Hang on, weren't you supposed to go on a date today, but you just fucked it off because of this?
Wow.
Well, do you know why? Because I was just like, I've got to go gym today. Like, I've got to like catch up with all my clients and that. Like, the business has got to come first. I can't prioritise women over that.
No.
It's
So-
the boys,
Fair
innit?
enough. That's fair enough.
My plan actually is to just avoid women until I leave, and then when I go to Zante and DJ for a month, I'm just gonna like probably let loose there, and then
When
and
are you
then,
going Zanti, mate?
May. So I'm basically island hopping for 3 months. So I've basically like, because I do a little bit of DJing on the side, for a little bit of like a money earner, and just to stop me boozing on the weekend. I managed to sort of wangle a gig in, so I'm doing like a month in Zante, like DJing at all like the clubs around there, like Cherry Bay, all that good stuff, and then like I'm island hopping for a month because of how it works with your visas. You can only do a month there before you like get a visa. So I'm gonna do like a month in Zante, a month in Ayia Napa, and then a month in Magaluf, just like DJing, like working, like still like working on my business, because the whole point of being like an online coach is you can work anywhere you want.
Yeah.
And I just want to get out of the UK, so and do something different. And like I got offered to do it last year, but I couldn't like leave like the military, so I like put it off for a year, and I got it offered again. So I've just thought I'm gonna take the opportunity now. I'm never gonna do it
Well, I'm going Zanti next month.
next month.
Yeah.
That'll be heavy, mate.
No, it won't be heavy because we're going like at the very end of the season, aren't we? So it's not going
He's
to be.
going with his missus, so there's nothing heavy about it. He'll be on a leash, he'll be doing as he's told.
Yeah, I'll be on the leash soon, as I'm told. I'll be getting bracken chopped every fucking left, right, and centre. What a general. She goes, Yeah, alright.
You have a drink and a vape if you need a vape.
Yeah, if you need to burst
Have a
into
pause.
flames, fucking burst into flames. Have a vape.
such
You need a wee, do it now.
Tactical piss, lads. Tactical piss. Take a knee. You ever done that? A tactical piss?
Yeah, the first time I did it, I pissed all over myself. and then obviously when you shake off, you're not actually funny done.
Sorry, it's that Cornwall Wi-Fi. It's dial-up internet. You got to go on a watt pedal to fucking get it active.
He's actually on a fucking exercise bike now as we speak, just so he can get energy into the Wi-Fi.
No, I'm not. I don't do any cardio. What are you on about? That's ridiculous.
What's been your main challenge since starting this business? Like, what do you think's been the biggest obstacle for you? Like, for example, like, I'm trying to compete with other people, or like, I haven't got the equipment, stuff like that.
Or the money, challenge. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's one of those where it's like, especially social media now, like everyone's posting now. I remember, when TikTok first came out in like lockdown,
yeah,
and everyone was like, "Oh, what the fuck's this like TikTok? It's just a kids app." And then obviously the people that hopped on the bandwagon then are now all just making like absolute millions. They're all fucking Pretty Little Thing events and like doing whatever. But the thing is, the scene is like so saturated, and I think trying to get your foot in the door is like mental. Like I'm still no expert. Like I've only been properly doing it for 5 months, and people are asking me like, "Oh, how have you grown like this? How have you grown that?" Because if you look at like the timeline within 5 months, collating that amount of followers, like 19k on Instagram and like 23k on TikTok, is like, it's silly numbers. And like I wasn't expecting it. Like my goals originally, I was like, by the end of the year, if I can get 10,000 followers on Instagram and 20,000 followers on TikTok, like by the end of the year, so like that's like an 8-month goal, I'd be happy. But I feel like, because I just I'm not fake on social media. I sort of say it how it is. I don't try and like put on a personality, put on some sort of like charade of how I am, because people will just see through it. But I think definitely when I was first starting, because I posted a little bit of TikTok here and there when I like a couple of years ago of just gym stuff. But I was just your classic like generic TikTok. I was like, "Oh, this is me. I'm gonna do a 1 max bench press and see how much I can press." And it was maybe 120 kilos. No one cares. Like, until you've got an established audience, no one like gives a shit. And it was only until I sort of looked at it when I started, I was like, I can't just go back doing the same thing, because it hasn't worked last time and it won't work this time. But I think the most difficult thing was definitely getting my foot in the door and being like a little bit different from not the competition, because it's not a competition. Everyone's just doing their own thing, trying to make their own way. But it was like I had to have a proper like sit down, do some market research, be like, what are other people doing? How can I sort of like look at what they're doing, adapt it into my own thing, and then go from there. And sort of I was like, right, I'm just going to start posting like stuff like a good balance of like informational content, and then just like some jokey stuff as well. But especially because obviously like while I'm still in, like I don't like officially like TX and leave the military till April 1st. Balancing like my actual job, because that still takes priority over this as well, it's been like a challenge. There's a lot of like stuff that goes on behind the scenes of like still trying to get like my gym in and actually look like I should be doing social media and still doing my actual job. So like trying to find that balance between basically running 2 things alongside each other was the most ridiculous. It was like the most like challenging thing, 100%.
Yeah. So I remember you messaged me, or I think it was me messaged you. I was like congratulating you on like, fucking hell, bro, you've like exploded now, haven't you? And like I remember you being like, bro, I don't know how the fuck I've exploded and stuff like that. And I said to you, it's because you're funny, Tom. It's because you just add little things that just make it funny and more watchable. Like, for example, that fucking tripod thing. I remember the tripod, but it fell over about 4 times. You're like, for fuck's sake! And then like the chair as well.
This chair's got to go, mate. I'm literally going to go to B&M and bargains after this.
So fucking squeaky.
But I think it's just real, mate. And I think like a lot of people like,
fake it these days, don't they? Especially
and
like
also
the gym scene, like.
Yeah, and it's like you don't want to be like daunting or like intimidating to people online. Like if you're giving off a persona of like I'm this bloke, I'm serious 24/7, like only a small amount of people are going to watch you compared to someone that like he likes a laugh and a joke, and like especially with joining the military, like it's the whole like it's when you join, there's the amount of like laughs and jokes that you have in there. It's not all serious 24/7. Obviously, when it's time to like do the job, you switch on and you go into that. Fucking hell, put that away.
Sorry, boys, but if anyone can't, people that can't see it now, I have fucking stated that.
It looks like Tom's there.
Yeah, I've had mine cut. Yours is not even getting cut.
Yeah, I've not had mine cut for a fucking weeks, mate.
I won't lie to you. It's why I keep a fringe as well. Because if look how far that goes back.
Fucking hell, mate. That's like creating an arrowhead, isn't it? Arrowhead formation on your fucking foot, mate.
Like the McDonald's sign, isn't it?
Oh man.
Okay, we're all losing it, aren't we? And we're all under the age of 30.
Yeah, fuck, mate. I'm 25, bro. How old are you, Tom?
I'm 26 in 12 days.
So you're a year above me then, aren't you? Because I've only recently just turned. So you're the oldest here, Steve. How do you feel?
I'm 28 at the end of the year.
Oh.
But I look the youngest. I can't grow a beard to save my life. This is like a week no shaving. Genuinely a week no shaving.
There's women in the army, mate, that can grow more hair than you on their face.
You're not wrong.
It's bad, isn't it?
So tell us about this exercise then, Tom, because you've got a lot to say about it.
Yeah, it's what, mate. Well, so like, obviously, if you didn't know, I go on about it pretty much 24/7. I've just been in Australia.
Are you in Australia? Have you?
Yeah, I can. Like, I'm just covered in like just naked women, so you can't really tell that like I've been there for 7 weeks. And we're basically going out there like working with like the Aussies. And
your camera's froze again, Tom. Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Take two.
Take two. Yeah. So I've been in Australia. We're out there for 7 weeks working with like the Australians. My first ever hot trip. I've only ever done fucking Norway's and like mountain trainings in America, which were pretty chilly. So we sort of went out there a couple of weeks of acclimatization, and then some sort of like pre-deployment training, and then we went on like a 2-week X, and it was hot. It was hot, mate. 38 degrees for the entire time. I just sweating and stinking. And it was decent. It was decent to be fair, but 14 days without a phone was not ideal.
No, I bet it wasn't.
Nah, and like especially with like from a business standpoint, it was one of them where I just sort of let everyone know that I wasn't going to be there for 2 weeks. My clients were all sound with it, and fucking it was annoying because I went viral on social media literally the day we deployed. Posted a video and it started gaining traction, and then I turned my phone on 2 weeks later and it was on like 4.5 million views, and I was like, fuck. Because like I could have just capitalised on it so much more. And like while people were coming to the page, like, I think like that video alone gave me like 7,000-8,000 followers.
Yeah.
And it meant that, and I was like, if I just kept posting, if I hadn't have been away and I just kept posting, like I could have been in a different situation. But hey, like it is what it is. I can't fucking change anything about it. But yeah, that was pretty frustrating. But I still managed to get it in when I was away. So like, I made it work, and now I'm back. Did you see that thing I had to put out on my Instagram a couple of weeks ago? Being like, lads, just so you know, even though I've got my nipples pierced, I'm not gay. Because like, mate, some of the messages I was getting were it was a different level. Lads being like, oh, can you send me like your socks that you've used in the gym, and I'll give you like 300 quid.
Oh my god.
And I was like, if I send that to them, there's going to be like a clone version of me running around like in somewhere in fucking like the fuck knows. And then people will be like, have you ever heard this thing called like, it's called like muscle worship? I had to Google it. So basically just like so you go to the bloke's house, right? He pays you like money up front, and he just looks at you, yeah, and he like worships your body, and they'll like pay you money to like do poses, oil yourself up and shit. Mate, I was like,
why did you do it?
Definitely done that before.
Yeah, he definitely done that before, Tom. Don't lie.
Mate, if this starts going downhill and money doesn't start coming in,
OnlyFans is coming up, mate.
Yeah, it would just be weird, like older blokes. Obviously, I've got like a niche, and obviously, gay people just seem to like, get attracted to my look, which probably explains why I'm still single. But yeah, I wasn't really expecting that at all. And when some of the messages I was getting, and it got to the point, I went to the lads I was away with, I was like, boys, this is getting weird now. I'm gonna have to like make a post about it. This lad, yeah, he fucking messaged me after he replied to my story of me being like, lads, I'm not gay, leave it out. And he was like, spaghetti is straight until it gets all hot and sweaty, boiled and sucked. And I was like, you need to have a word with yourself, because that is probably the most tapped thing I've ever heard in my life. You should have seen his profile picture, mate. He was literally like probably in his early 40s, bald, like fat, and I was like, mate, what is going on? I don't understand it.
We used to have I'll censor his name out, but we had a guy that we used to call Lightweight Walker.
Oh, fucking hell, him.
The reason why he got his name is, do you remember the new tab was it 40 kilo or 40 pounds?
Something like that. So, it was like 4 miles and like 40 kilos, some shit like that. Who the fuck carries 40 kilos on a fucking patrol?
You do. So we were on this tab, right, and we were all hanging out our asses because this is the first time we'd done it, and this cunt was fucking falling from the front all the way back. So we're like, trying to help him as you do. You grab it. We grabbed his burgers. Like, come on! I picked his burger up off his back. I was like, fuck off. And we stopped. I opened it. He had nothing in there, mate. He had about 2 water bottles or something like that. I was like, you fucking joking? And then everyone was like, what? Everyone jumped on it. Fuck it, mate. He's lucky the fucking platoon commanders are there. He was getting smashed up. Yeah. Same guy. We were on pre-deployment training, and he was on one of the Sangha positions. An IDF went off, and he fired at this IDF. He shouted "contact" as loud as he could and fired at this IDF. We went up to like, what? Where? They were like, "Oh, IDF." I was like, "Are you taking a fucking piss?" I said, "You're firing it. Fuck all." I was like, "You know what you do on an IDF? You get fucking down, you lizard."
Oh, mate. he sounds like one.
Oh, mate, he just started firing
at the end. In Afghan, mate, his diet was just Blue Monster.
Oh,
Blue Monster and Binds, mate. That's all his diet was. And he's the skinniest lizard I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. This was the same guy that got married to his missus after 2 weeks of meeting her.
Oh, yeah. Fuck it, yeah. He's one of them blokes, yeah. Honestly.
The only reason why he got married is because it was free.
Jesus.
Yeah, because he got a free house, that's all.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he wanted. He wanted a pad and that.
Fucking hell, he sounds class.
Yeah. Have you got any people like that, Tom? Or
what? To be fair, not right. I feel like there's sort of, if you like when you're in training and that, you sort of, if you're like get caught out with being like a shithouse or whatever, like word travels. Like I don't know what it's like in the army, but in like the Marines, there's only like 7,000 people like total in the whole of the Marines, and it's like everyone knows fucking everyone. So it gets to the point where you're like, if you're like a shit bloke or whatever, and then you go to a new unit, there'll be someone at that old unit that fucking knows the bloke that you work with, and he's messaged in being like, they'll be like, this lad's coming to my fucking unit, what's he like? And they'll be like, mate,
lizard.
It's one of them. So like, sort of like reputation does travel, and like I think it's a little bit different from like when you're in training, because obviously you're in training to learn, aren't you? But then if you go to an actual like unit and you're still like shit, then it gets to the point where you're just like, fucking hell. Like,
I reckon I would have been the biggest lizard in the Marines, mate. I would have been a fucking gecko, I would have. Honestly.
Well, mate, especially for the first 3 months, like 3-4 months until I got into phase 2 training, I got smashed for being a bandy, obviously, because it was like, you've gone from playing music to trying to do like the soldier and stuff, and then, the first like 15 weeks or whatever, I did get smashed quite a lot. And then it sort of like settled down a little bit when I got into phase 2, because they're obviously just a bit like, who does he think he is, thinking he can like but he's just sort of got to like prove yourself in that. I mean, I thought it was class, and like most of the people when I said like, what did you do before this, and I was like, I was in the band, they usually be like, that's pretty fucking cool, because obviously they see them doing like all the King's Squad pass outs, all like the Edinburgh Tattoo, Mountbatten Music Festival, all of that, like they're sort of like quite big like quite big gigs, and like loads of like people in the Marines and that go to it. I remember like I've met some like pretty crazy people, like Princess Anne. Like she was just cutting around up in Scotland. We did this gig, and she came like onto the parade, and she just was like, it was a parade with like loads of like Navy people, and it was fucking like November time, and it was freezing. And then obviously everyone's still on parade. We're all stood there with like our instruments, and I just remember like just hearing this massive clatter. We've probably only been on parade for like 30 minutes, but this like, I think it was like some Navy chick. She'd just fucking gone full straight down, and then you just hear like the clatter of the boots as this stretchers run out to pick her up. And it was, yeah, mate, some of the stuff is just like mental. But I never want to do drill again. I'm done with it.
So you've gone from fingering flutes to fingering the back of your weapon like that.
Yeah, breach.
Yeah, your fucking pinky's like all wonky and deformed now. There you go.
I've got a really good one, and Luke was present at this time. So this was the same night you were taped to that seat,
right?
And there was a guardsman at the time called Collins, and he came over to me and Big Mond. He came over to me and Monday, and he come in the middle of us, pissed up anyway, and he pointed to our beers. And he goes, "I'm taking them." And Big Monday was sat next to me. He goes, "No, you're not." I was like, "No, you're not." And he goes, "Do you know who I am?" He goes, "I'm the hardest man in the battalion." I was like, "Shut the fuck up." I was like, "Go away." So he started walking around, because there was a group of us outside. He started walking around with us, and he was trying to pick on people, and he got one lad in the corner. He hit him in his stomach, and he dropped to the floor. He hit him for no reason. And then he come over to another lad. He gripped him by his throat and started pushing and walking with him. So me and Tony stood up. Tony ran over. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And I ran over, and I've hit him on the side of his jaw, and he's dropped and fell on the floor all stiff like a board. We've ended up walking off. The guy hit in the stomach. That guy then helped him to bed. So about 10 minutes later, he came out covered in blood. I was like, "Whoa, what's happened to you?" And he goes, "Well, I took him to bed, and he's jumped up, tried attacking me, so I filled him in." I was like, "For fuck's sake." 10 minutes after that, he comes out covered in blood, right? Shouting and raving, this, that and the other. Some other cunt from another block comes running over, jumps on his back and chokes him out.
That was Scott, wasn't it?
Yeah, I was like, "What the fuck?"
So after all this had like settled and stuff like that, we're about to go back inside, right? We found a phone, right? And we checked the back screen of it, yeah, the lock screen of it. He was on it with like his missus or some shit like that, yeah. So I give it to fucking Mond, right? He looks at it and goes, fucking snaps it in half, yeah? And I mean, he fucking broke it in half and then just launched it on top of the roof, right? So with our block, there's like, you got the entrance and then just, you got like a little porch, yeah? Like a flat porch. And like the phone was on top of there. And then the next morning, he comes down saying, "Hey lads, does anyone see my phone?" And he said it to this guy, yeah? And then Mon just goes like, "I don't know what the fuck you on about, mate." His phone's fucking right above him, like, he doesn't realise.
Snapped in half.
Yeah,
not getting that back. He tried bringing it, but I can't find it.
Yeah,
I think someone turned it off.
It's fucking different.
Right, I've got a decent one, yeah. My memory's kicked back in. My jet lag's fucking finished. So it was from Norway this year. So last year I did my novices and I creamed in on it, broke my ankle. Wow, like tore the ligaments in my ankle. So I went back. So I flew back early. Then I went back out this year to fucking redo my novices. And they basically changed it now. So you have like a 4-week course and a 3-week course, and the 3-week course is like a support one. So whatever like branch you're in, like so like heavy weapons, like heavy weapons. So I'm obviously air defense. So we're in that like 3-week bracket along with like other people from fucking like 5'9", 2'4", like everything. So like the novices is like 3 weeks. Your first week's like just learn how to like live out in Norway, like 10-man tents, fucking all that shit. And your second week's like a ski week, just learn how to ski and not be like a retard on the skis. And then the third week is like so you're in the field for 5 days. First 2 days are fucking just chilling beans, and then your third day's like you go into like the tactical setting. So we've like yomped into this wood block. It's not even that far of a yomp. Like it's pretty chilled out. And then you dig in, you dig your harbour or whatever, dig in all your tent pits, and then you just crack on with like your fucking sentry routine and harbour routine. And then we've been contacted at fucking whatever time. Like it was pretty late, probably like fucking 02. or whatever, and we've all come out, and like we're getting attacked from like our fucking position. I think we were like 6 o'clock position or whatever, and then there was this 5'9" lad. He must have been about fucking 35 plus, and then like in our team it was me, him, and two 9 lads, and they were fucking, so they were in this contact, and then I'm like taking up positions and that, running around, and I just hear like, get out of my fucking way, and this like 5'9" lads like said it, and then fucking this like young lad just gone, all right mate, no need to flash, and he was like, and then he goes, don't talk to me like that REMF cunt. Bear in mind, in the middle of a contact, he dives on him like on the floor, starts throttling him in the middle of a contact. I turn around and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? This bloke like trying to choke out this like young lad. He's probably like 19, 20, in the middle of a contact, and I was like, lads, get a fucking grip. And then he proceeded to a contact finishes and that, all that jazz. And then the lad comes up to me and goes, did you just see what happened there? I was like, well, not really. All I heard was a bit of shouting, and then you just getting throttled. And then the lad that's like throttled didn't say a word for like 4 hours, and then he tried chatting to me like a few hours later when like the fucking tack phase was over, and I was just like, and he was like, oh, how'd you find that? And I was like, I don't really know. I didn't really know we were doing fucking friendly fire, blue on blue, choking out your own lad. I've never seen anything like it, where you're in like a tactical scenario, and one of the lads, he just starts choking out this bloke. I've never seen it. I got back and I told the lads, and they were like, what the fuck?
That's a good fucking detail, that, isn't it? It's fucking blue on blue, like.
It's more the fact like a 35-year-old man has decided, because one bloke has said, all right mate, don't flash, choke out a 19-year-old in the middle of fucking in a fucking tent pit. That is one of the most mental things I've ever fucking seen.
That's fucking insane, that. Fuck's sake.
Go on, Luke, what you got?
Do you know what? I have
you take everyone else's dits, right? You share everyone else's
because,
dits.
Mate, I'm shit at dits, man. There's probably so many up in there, but I can't remember them.
He puts his little profile picture over the message in the bottom corner, so it looks like he sent them in to himself.
Right, so... right, actually, I've got one. Right, but it's not... However, it's not my dit, right? This is from a friend of mine, like, he lives down there.
See? Share everyone else's dits.
Alright, I'll tell you... Alright, I'll tell you another... Right, I'll tell you one of my dits, right? Steve, you'll remember this, right? So, we're doing a guard mount, right? And... You know, this is when I started. This is before I was a cymbal monkey, yeah. So I was playing like I was playing the flute. I had no idea how to fucking play a flute. Did I fuck? So it was quite a windy one, and then we were just stepping off on Victoria Barracks in Windsor, and we're going up the road, and then we just turned the first corner to go left towards Windsor Castle. Now on this day it was quite fucking windy, right? And I mean like really windy. So we're just there. I'm just there pretending to play the flute. This and the other. All of a sudden, a massive gust of wind hits the back of my bearskin, right? My flute, well, like that, my fucking head went forward into the flute, yeah? The flute snapped it off. We didn't snap it off, but like, you know, there's 3 pieces to a flute in there.
Yeah, I remember
so like
that.
the top of it, well, that big, right, fell off. I was like, so I was just there with like half a fucking flute, and I was just thinking, right, what the fuck am I doing here? So I was like, I sort of like brought it closer to my mouth, yeah. It looks like I wasn't playing anything, mate, yeah, honestly. So I was like, miming fucking Great Escape, Galanthia, fucking all sorts, yeah. And then we get to Winter Castle, and fucking Platoon Sergeant, he's turning to fucking one of the lads there, and he's going, where the fuck is Rob's flute? And then I was just stood there. I was like, "Oh, for fuck's sake!" I was shitting it. Yeah, I thought I was going to have to pay for a new flute and everything like that. Anyway, guard mount finishes. We come back, and then the platoon sergeant's like, "Right, Roberts, what the fuck happened to your flute?" I was like, "Honest to God, sergeant, yeah, it just fucking fell off." I was like, "What do you mean it fucking falls off?" It's like, basically, sergeant, my fucking big gust. Do you know that big gust of wind we had up there? He was like, "Yeah." It's like, yeah, it hit the back of my bearskin and my head went forward, and like half a flute came off, And he's like, right, you're getting fucking crated and charged. I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. And then...
You didn't even get a crate, did you?
Wait, hang on. No, I'm getting to it, right? And then 5 minutes later, one of the armed... Because you get escorted by the armed police, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, one of the armed police came in and said, right, does anyone's half a flute here? So I just got out of a fucking crate. I got out of a charge, all thanks to that fucking police officer that picked up my fucking flute. So, to the police officer that picked up half a flute in 2019, well done, mate. Cheers, brother. You got me out of a fucking crate. That was a shit date, wasn't it? Fucking hell. We're going to suck each other's dicks now. So, we're going to end it there. If you want a part 2, let us know. Just one more thing to add on to. Just to reiterate or recap. The link tree is on Cheers Dits' my page anyway. It's on Cheers Dits' link tree, so it's a link tree inside of a link tree. Yeah, believe it or not. We've got the app we've now got like a coffee account, which is like where you can donate like small amount of funds or like any equipment that you want to donate to us. Sponsors, if you want to sponsor this podcast in the future, I know it's like the second episode and it probably sounds really shit to you, then yeah, well, whatever. And Steve is still working on the shed, so we'll sort of be doing this together, won't we, Steve?
Gotta keep all the kids there.
We get to keep all the sweets there as well. Anything you want to add, Steve?
Yeah, so anyone can be on this podcast. All you need to do is give the page a message, including you sailors, if you like.
Sailors.
Also, if you want to come on, you need a story and a fucking personality about yourself, because I don't want to be sat here bored shitless listening to, I don't know, what you had for tea the other night. So, if you want to jump on the podcast...
steak and eggs!
Yeah, give Cheers Dits a message, or give Just Veterans TikTok page a message, or the Lizard Lounge TikTok. We're always on all three,
or you can give my mum a message. You know, she's single now, so...
There you go, Tags.
No, I should have said that.
We'll be calling Tom Daddy in the next couple of weeks.
That's fine, mate. I'm happily called Tom Daddy.
Oh,
Right, yeah. Anything, Tom, you want to add? Anything about your TikTok or?
His camera's frozen. Oh, there we go.
yeah. Sorry, I had to get back on the Watt bike. Fucking power up for another 5 minutes.
So.
Anything you want to add?
Who, me?
Yeah, about your TikTok, anything
Oh
like
yeah,
that?
100%. If you're not already, follow me on TikTok and Instagram. It's just Tegscoaching.
Oh shit! I meant to end this, aren't I? Fuck, I forgot.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, see you later. Take care. Bye.